akaita siwe.
Hakuna mume, hakuna mume, hakuna mume, akaita siwe. Hakuna mume, hakuna mume, hakuna mume,
Chinzwaka
akaita siwe.
Tinuziva seikuti nasi wakafara, tinuziva seikuti nasi wakasurubiwa. Zviri mumoyo mako hakuna mumangazviziva. Vanhu vari kumhanya-manya neupenyu hwavo, nyika yanhasi yotoda kushingirira. Hazvinokukunda iwe usanetseka, une rimwe harikombi churu. Mwanangu, une simba, une njere, wakasikwa nemutova unotyisa iwe, hakuna mumwe akaita sewe.
Hakuna mume, hakuna mume, hakuna mume, akaita siwe. Hakuna mume, hakuna mume, hakuna mume, akaita siwe.
Chawawana neruoko rwako, chete nesimba rako rose. Unozoshaya nguva yekugadzirisa kwaunoenda usiku chete, uri mukundi. Hakuna mumwe akaita sewe.
Hakuna mume, hakuna mume, hakuna mume,
Chinzwaka
akaita siwe.
hakuna
Hakuna mume,
akuchina
hakuna mume,
akaita sewe.
hakuna mume,
Iwe weka
akaita siwe. Hakuna mume, hakuna mume, hakuna mume, akaita siwe. Hakuna mume, hakuna mume, hakuna mume, akaita siwe.
The sweet sounds of Seku Bee coming through, featuring Prosper and Natasha. Apparently, these are his little babies, his little kids coming through saying Hakuna Kaita Sewe. So the song is titled Sewe. It is 20 minutes before we get to 20 minutes before we get to One on Classic 263.
akuchina akaita sewe.
As I say, good afternoon and thank you so much for joining me to Seku Bee. His real name is Gabriel Guinea. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you very much. I feel blessed to be here.
Indeed, it's a blessing also having you today. Let's quickly talk about who Seku Bee is, or Gabriel Guinea. Who is Gabriel Guinea?
Okay, Gabriel Guinea is actually also known as Seku Bee, and Seku Bee, it's a stage name like the name I use in this music industry. And Seku Bee comes from Sekurua Blessings.
Okay.
I have my Mzukuru called Blessing, though I have so many Wazukuru. But way back, people used to call me Sekurua Blessing. So I cut the Sekuru Ru and then I just say Seku Bee in the music industry. And Seku Bee is also a music producer.
And how long have we been in the music industry?
I've been in this music industry for a very, very long time. About more than 20 years in this music industry. Like first I used to sing, and then by that time recording was a hassle. And then I decided to come up with a recording studio. That's when the production started. I think it was way back in 2005 when I started the production.
The Urban Grooves.
Yeah, way back. Yeah, we were actually the people who came up with Urban Grooves.
So let's talk about, let's just go back to that era of Urban Grooves. I know that it's not every artist who managed to come out of that Urban Grooves era. We talk about the likes of Alexio, Ngoni Kambarami, XQ, etc. They've managed to grow, and they've managed to also to attract the mature listeners. What happened during that era? You as a producer, you're producing the music. Some were calling it bubblegum music. Some were saying that, okay, this music might go far, but this might not go far. As a producer,
What I can say, it was quite hard because it was something like new. It was a new field which was being introduced by that time, and a lot of promoters were like, "This music won't last. Does it last?" So it was very hard for that music to penetrate. But I'd like to thank God. Eventually, it's now dominating nowadays.
Exactly.
So I believe if you keep on holding on to what you're doing, never go astray, like focusing on that thing. At the end of the day, it will come up well. So I would like to thank the guys who kept holding on up to now, and they are still holding on, and they are making this music industry better, like that time whereby it was only few genres which was only accepted.
That's true.
But now you can come up with anything and people are accepting it as long as it is good.
A nice one. So let's talk about also the relationship between the producer and the artist, because you're also an artist.
Yes.
But there is that relationship that is cut between the producer and the artist. You hear most of the times when you interview an artist, they'll tell you that my producer say that no, this sound is not good. But then when they bring it out to the people now, they tend to blame the producer because they say, no, but I thought this beat or this sound was good for me, but then my producer changed. But some people will still come out and give thumbs up to their producers. Let's talk about that relationship between artists and producers.
Yeah, like as a producer, it's like you've got so many music in you, and as an artist, you've got only one genre which you sing. Like for example, if an artist is into dancehall, he's only into dancehall. He's not into R&B. He's not into house. He's not into. But as a producer, you produce a lot of type of different genre. So you know the feel. Especially when an artist comes to you, say, "I want to be produced," and then you say, "Can you give me maybe 2 lines or sing? Give me what you do." You can actually hear that this artist want to sing this type of music, but it's not his. This is his right direction. So you have to make the artist understand, or maybe we are now going to an agreement whereby we decide to try. Okay, this is what you want,
So
but
you
let's
actually
try
try.
this.
Okay.
Let's try this, and then see what it comes out. And then eventually some artists will think this is their line, but it won't be their line. At the end of the day, they will find out, my strength is on this line, because an artist will be like focused on his, or maybe he liked it, but when he sings, he's not singing what he likes. He's singing to this other type, which is his music, but not knowing that this is his music.
Okay, because we've heard most of the times the artists will sing, but then the sound will not be good. It will not be sounding good. Is it that the producer is the one who's got the final say, or the artist also can go behind your back and find another producer? Because most of the times you can tell, maybe I'll listen to your music and go like, but Seku Bee sounds like this person.
Exactly.
Why is this person sounding like this person? And when you ask the artist, they'll go like, but my producer says.
Yeah. On that note, it depends. If you and the artist agrees, you can work together. And there are some other artists whereby even if you tell him, that person will say, no, this is what I want. You as a producer, just do this because this is what I want. On that case, you just do what the artist wants. But there are some other artists, for example, I can give you an artist called Crazy E. I'm working with him. When he came to the studio, he was doing strictly dancehall. But I introduced him to Afropop.
Okay.
And actually his voice, he was actually doing the right thing. And he merged into Afropop very well. Whereby most of his music, which is dominating now, it's Afropop. But it's a mixture. I'm not saying you can't do dancehall, but as the music which is trending nowadays, I introduced that to him, and his music is different.
Okay, so basically you can say they are artists who are called Mamsoro.
Exactly.
Because now when we listen,
and especially those artists who think they've made it.
Okay.
Yeah, those ones they'll just say, no, this is what I want. But those upcoming, some of them will be like on a situation whereby they are desperate. So if you introduce, he will accept it because all he wants is something which will blow.
Okay.
But there are some artists whereby you just say, no, you do this is what I want, and we'll just do, and then eventually you see no, this is not working on his own. But will be temper advice.
Okay, so the producers are coming through and saying, no, we actually give this artist advice, but I'm sorry, it is 13 minutes before we get to one on Classic 263. I am joined by Seku Bee in the studio. So let's just shift a little bit and talk about you. You're an artist and you're also a producer.
Yes.
Now you sing.
Yes.
I'll not call mom story as well, yeah, because there's always, I wonder, because now you have to deal with the different genres as a producer. Your type of music to say, okay, I'm an artist, I'm not going to try and mix and go dance or Afro pop, Afro fusion, Afro what,
yes.
But I'm just going to stick to my own type of sound. This is me.
Yeah, on that point, me as a producer, I don't specialize. And my music, if you listen to my music, you find reggae, you find R&B, you find even house, you find hip hop. The advantage part with me as a producer, when I feel like this beat, I want to sing on it, I'll sing on it. And then those artists will come on solo, and then the others, I'll just say, can you listen to this piece? So I'll hear advice from artists who come to my studio. This is my music. What do you think about this? And then that's where I can see this is good. I'll go with this, or I'll not go with this.
Okay.
So me working with me, I'm an adventure. I want to explore, to try anything, because my strength is in singing, like more like R&B. So if you're a singer, you can sing on any type of beat.
Okay.
That's an advantage. But if you're a chanter or a rapper, you only do what goes with rapping or what goes with chanting. But if you're a singer, you can sing on a hip hop beat, on a dancehall beat anyway. So my music is different.
Okay.
I don't stick to this is, yes, the message is spiritual music. It's maybe you can call it gospel. I didn't want to put it like gospel. It's spiritual music which uplifts. Yeah. So, but in that music, you can find R&B, you can find soul, you can find dancehall. That's Seku Bee.
Okay, 11 minutes before we get to one on Classic 263. So let me pull in something, because when it comes to Pastor Aaron Rusukira, he was one of many people's favorites, especially when it comes to gospel. His teachings, his preachings, everything. He was amongst the one, like the favorite, the most loved. So let me throw in something that he did. Anzandinga Fambindoga, Seku Bee featuring Aaron Rusukira, the village preacher.
Vane tsvimbo namapanga, vane mitsi nemipuro, vana makashu noukasha, vanondidzingirira, kundidzungaidza vadzivisi vane zvidzingi. Voti ndafa ndisina, voti ndaparara ndiripo, divara ndiri razara makarwa kudarika mvura. Madzinde echibage chomunda mangu ava mashoma kudarika makuda ari mugomo ari kuvinga munda wangu. Pavo handizi kurota ndiri kuvavona. Vandaiti shamwari vondibatisa kunocheka kwomunondo, vondiisira nduru muchunu chamafuta, vaisa ivhu mudenhe reupfu, vondirapa meso nemhiripiri, vondiberetsa guyo, voti ngatishambire tiende mhiri kwasave tindotora mapudza avana. Havo handisi kurota ndiri kuvavona, handingafambi ndoga.
Ndiri kuva ndoga, shemusandisiye, handingafambi ndoga.
Bring our time to 7 minutes before we get to one on Classic 263. At 1 o'clock, we do give you the news bulletin. So let's talk about some of the collaborations that you have done, because I know coming from the Urban Grooves era, let's start from there. Let's start from the productions that you've given us from the Urban Grooves era, even up to now, and artists that you're now working with.
Okay, like way back, I collaborated with a lot of artists, and I've worked with a lot of artists, the likes of Trevor Dongo, Ngoni Kambarami, Shinto, Alexio Kawara, Gospel Side, No Zembe, Rumbi Jirikuje, and Andy Muridzo. We did actually a compilation full of artists. It was a reggae where we featured Andy Muridzo, Raskeleb, Dr. Don, and I've worked with almost every Zim artist. And nowadays, this upcoming artist, I'm working with Savan Freak, Crazy
Yeah,
E.
they were here at one point.
Exactly.
I remember Mr. Ku interviewing them.
Yes, South African Crazy E, and Dobadon and Jacking Silencer. These are upcoming. They'll be coming soon.
So let's talk about the future of Zimbabwean music, because I know that there's always that misconception, or the people who quickly judge us, especially when it comes to Zimbabwean music. I'm going to tell that this type of beats, they are doing this. Let's talk about the future of Zimbabwean music, and also including how COVID-19 has somehow affected us.
Okay, yeah, the future of Zimbabwean music is bright, as I can say. Nowadays, if we look at the quality of the video, they are on point. Because on Trace, you see some of our Zim artists being aired there. And even the quality, the music, the audio quality, it's on point. So I can see Zim music is future. And especially when you go to social media, there are a lot of platforms who are promoting our artists. A lot. So by that, we need, in fact, a lot, so that if the competition is stiff, we get to juggle things whereby we will choose kuti now ndakunoshanda ningi, I'm going there. Saka zvinhu zvikawanda zvine competition, I believe trend there.
So let's also talk about COVID-19, because I know you're a producer, you're also an artist, and you've got artists who've been crying, coming to you, and some cannot come and record, some are recording, but then COVID-19.
I want to thank COVID-19 on another way, whereby COVID-19 it introduced another side which Zim artists were not like focusing on, especially on the social media platform. That's where we look. There are so many platforms whereby artists are doing shows inside, and they are concentrating much on the YouTube, Facebook. Way back, people used to wait for a date whereby they will gather for a certain date, whereby they will go for a show. But nowadays, anyone can drop a song or a performance any day, anytime on social media. So I would like to thank that on the other side. But still, whenever anything comes, there's an advantage and a disadvantage side, whereby maybe on a monetary side, artists couldn't make enough money where they used to do before that COVID-19 thing. So it's somehow an advantage part and a disadvantage part. So we thank God for everything, because God says every situation, all things work together for good.
That's very true. In time fast approaching 3 minutes before we put a closer, 3 minutes before we get to 1. Maybe your closing words before I throw in something from Crazy, who you say that came through and you were singing dancehall music. But then this is a different feel. When I listened to it, I was actually shocked. So we'll be giving it to the listeners. We'll be playing it for the listeners. But maybe your parting shots before we put it close.
What I can say, whatever you want to do, be serious. And being serious, it's not like you can sing, but it's the effort you put in the work you do. So I would like to urge everyone, let us be serious in this music industry. If we look way back where we started and now, there's a very big difference. So I would like to say, keep holding and never give up on what you're doing. At the end of the day, you will smile.
Indeed, keep holding and never give up. But before I let you go, I just have to throw in this, because I remember interviewing an elderly person, an elderly who is in the arts. They say to me, Nati, some of these names that these young artists are giving themselves are the ones we quickly judge, because funny names. So as a producer, I know that they come through with funny names, and usually they quickly judge because of the funny names. Don't you also help you out with the naming?
Yes. We sometimes face those challenges with artists. There are some names whereby you just say, this one doesn't work. And I remember this other artist came through. He wanted to call himself Mr. Music. Okay. And he was told no, you can't be Mr. Music. With the type of music you're doing, you can't call yourself that. And he had to change. Yeah, some they will understand and change, but some they will say, that's what I want, and I'm going to my reasons behind that name. So you just say, well, I would just like you with your name.
Seku Bee, thank you so much.
Okay,
I was speaking to Seku Bee, who is a producer, a music producer, and also a musical judge, and is also an artist. So this is one of the music productions that he has produced. This is Crazy E coming through with Osandi Kanga.
Sauka mutira mwanangu novutwa seniyo